Well, hello everybody. This is Dina Patterson. I am one of your script chairs for the 2016-2017 school year at Holy Spirit Catholic School. Welcome to your script team meeting, the online version. Yay! I hope everybody's happy about doing this format as opposed to meeting at the parish hall and having to give up a nice warm dinner. So let's move along because we only have about 15 minutes. So, we are going to be talking about how script is important to the school's budget. So when script first started, it actually brought in a little over $40,000 a school year. But then, there was an audit, and we were reduced to a little over $20,000 a school year. But that was pretty strong for several years. The script team earned that amount on a regular basis. Unfortunately, due to changes in our area, this number has been declining, so that now we actually only pull in about $19,000 for a school year. So it doesn't seem like that much, but really the school is hurting from it, and we are hoping to bring some life back into the script program. So Colin Birch and Lisa Jenkins and I have some great ideas to help this program, and we would appreciate any of your feedback or ideas about that. So we are moving forward. Again, as you heard, there are 3 script chairs this year. There is myself, Dina Patterson, hi, Lisa Jenkins, and Colin Birch. My position with the script program is I'm kind of heading up the PR and the HR arm of the group. I work with scheduling and anything else that Lisa and Colin don't do. Lisa, who has been part of the Holy Spirit School for years and years and years, she really understands how script works and the relationship that we need to maintain between the script team, the school, and the parish. So we call her our nuts and bolts person. So she is committed to a 2-year term at this point. Colin, who is one of our newest members of the script team, is actually on for a whole 3 years. He is our tech person, so he's there for technical support and research and development. It turns out that Great Lakes Script has some online programs that Holy Spirit doesn't really take part in at this point because we weren't sure how to make their program and how we operate jive, for lack of a better word. And Colin's hoping to research that to see if there's a way that we can implement some of those things and make it easier for our families to utilize the script program and continue to bring in the much desired funds for the school. So more on the grand plan of how this is supposed to work. You saw that my term is actually for 1 year, and again, Lisa's is for 2 years, but the people that we would like to replace us would be committing to a 3-year term. This is to ensure that all of our future chair groups are never all new. In the past, when we've had 2 chairs being replaced at the same time, we've always had to give them, kind of a learning curve time. And if we have only 1 new person come in at a time, then that, of course, gets reduced to a third of a learning curve, which hopefully then makes the program move a little bit more smoothly. It also helps us to ensure that we avoid burnout because, well, we've all kind of been there. We know how that feels. It's never good to have all of the responsibility on one person. We have enough hands. We should be able to share the responsibility. So please think about volunteering for one of these positions and then pray about it. And when you're done praying about it, come talk to myself or Colin or Lisa and see if this is something that you think you may be able to act on for the next school year. Currently, we have openings for a forms person and for the holiday schedule. Forms person is just that. If we take something off of the form, we need to update that form so that those the people walking in aren't going to order something that's no longer available. So we need somebody to change that form and then make sure that those forms are copied and we have enough for the next weekend selling shifts. Then the holiday schedule opening, I'll be talking about that a little bit later in this presentation. So moving on, we need to talk about a few script room protocols. The script room actually is not the script room. So we kind of all have fallen on to, this is what it is, so it actually belongs to us. But we actually share this space with the PSR and the hearing assist people. So we've had a few incidences in the past, and so we feel like we need to say this. Please, when there's another group in there, don't make them feel uncomfortable about being in there. We, again, share the space. It's a public space for the parish. So don't make anybody feel uncomfortable about being in what we would consider the script room because, again, it is shared. However, the metal file cabinet, the safe, and the credenza do belong to the program. If you're not familiar with them, go ahead and open up the credenza and look and see what's in there. That's where we hold some of our, paper, our past filing, and the paper clips, the pencils, the highlighters, the rubber bands. So go ahead and open up that top drawer, take a look around. That's where you would find other things and restock the little plastic boxes. So please make sure that any money and TBOs are all in the safe. So we have come in and done the reports of a Sunday night, and we have seen that somebody has actually left the TBO envelopes in the file cabinet. And while it feels like might be a safe place because it can be locked and the door can be locked, it is not considered safe unless it is actually in the safe. So please make sure that all the money and the TBOs are all held in the safe. Please make sure that the file cabinet is locked. So I know that as a teacher, I don't like to lock my file cabinet because then I have to get my keys out and unlock it. But, that laptop that we just got this summer, we don't want to have to replace it again. So please make sure that when you are finishing up a shift that you actually do lock the file cabinet. Those of you who are new, please make sure you're going through and at least double checking the script sales binder. I know if you're working with kind of a seasoned person, you don't really feel that you have to use the binder, but it would be good practice for you to make sure that you're crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's and getting all those things done, especially if you come into a situation where you're running a shift and you are not with a seasoned person. So understanding how to use the script sales binder would be very beneficial for you. On that note, I'm going to talk about a few things here that we need to make sure that we're all doing. First of all, we need to make sure that every time there is a transaction, there is a signature from the person who is buying. So when somebody comes in and purchases that day, let's say they get a Taco Bell and a Dairy Queen and a Panera card. They need to put their little initials next to each of those lines saying, yes, I have received these items. And then when they come in and pick up their TBO, ideally you would hand them their envelope. They would open it up themselves because technically they're supposed to be the only one opening up the TBO envelope. Then they would count those cards out and then sign on the TBO form saying, yes, I received this card. Yes, I received my 2 $500 Lowe's cards. Think of the signature as a receipt for those cards. That's the way that we track to make sure that the change of money has actually occurred. So another thing that we would appreciate your help with is making sure that the deposit stamp is on the checks. This helps with our running the reports at the end of all the shifts on Sunday night, and it just helps make things go a little bit more smoothly. On that note, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but alphabetizing the blue forms at the end of your shift, or even while you have a slow portion in your shift, would be a huge help. So you may not think that having the 5 or 10 forms at just putting them in your pocket envelope at the end of your shift and not worrying about it you may not think that's a big deal, but when we come in at the end of all of the shifts on Sunday night and we're having to run through 4 or 5 shifts, and each one of them has, anywhere from 10 to 20 sales documents on it, it really helps. It helps us go from a 90-minute shift with the alphabetizing versus like a 2 to 2.5 hour shift if we don't have the alphabetizing. So please alphabetize those forms if you are able to. So the last thing that we need to make sure everybody's doing is signing the shift form. That helps us understand exactly who was there that evening or that during that shift. And then also it helps make sure that you get your points for working that shift. The last thing is that we really need you to make sure you close the safe. So when you come in, start your shift out, pull your cards out, and then close the safe. The safe actually works on a battery, and if you leave that the door open, then it actually is running down the battery. And it is not a very easy thing to go out and change that battery out, especially if it occurs in the middle of your shift, because then technically you can't leave with the safe door open. So please do not leave the safe open during your shift. Okay, when we come to stuffers and inventory, the things that we need to point out are you may want to check with the parish office. Okay, again, that is a shared room. We share it with a few other groups, and then also the rest of the parish actually has access to that room as well. And so the parish office may have scheduled a meeting in that room that you may not know about. So if you are going in to do inventory on a specific night, either check with the parish office to see if you can get in there, or just or tell the ladies in the office, I'm regularly going to be in at this time. Consider. Talk to them about making it your time to come in and do the inventory and stuffing. Okay, with home and school meetings moved up a night, please make sure that this job is done on Tuesday afternoon or on Wednesday afternoon. So we know the cards come in on Tuesday, and it doesn't really leave us with a lot of time to get that done before home and school meetings, but we really need to make sure it's done there because we actually sell quite a bit during the home and school meetings. So when you are doing your stuffing, please make sure you tape the cards in sets of 10 with a horizontal strip of tape. When you go across that electromagnetic tape with the masking tape, it actually demagnetizes that back card. And so that creates a problem for us when you demagnetize that back card. And again, do not leave the safe open. Saturday and Sunday sales. Okay, so we sell out of the parish hall until further notice. When there is no coffee or donuts, make sure you're at the bottom of the stairs and keep the doors open so that people can see you. When the office emails of a conflict, that's when we sell out of the script room. So there may be some issues. Give Lisa or myself a call, and hopefully we can take care of that. Again, please be cordial when faced with sharing the script room. Okay, for the blue Pick Up Today forms, that last Sunday shift needs to notify the forms person, currently Lisa Jenkins, if we are running low on the forms. So if we don't know that they're running low, then we don't get enough in there for the next shift. So we really need that last Sunday shift to let Lisa know if we need new forms. Okay, so again, this may not seem like a big deal, but you do need to sell the cards from the front of the stack. This is typical inventory, and it does have, it's not quite a shelf life, but we need to make sure that we're going from the front because not every card has the same amount that it's worth. And so if we always are selling from the back, then we're always selling the new inventory, and then the old inventory never gets used. So we need to continually rotate that inventory. And again, please do not leave the safe open. Okay, now we're going to switch to part 2 because I couldn't quite get it in 15 minutes.